Yeah, tough game. The Pan got to the final of the last ranking tournament, lost narrowly to Mark Selby. Was 4-0 down with Ken Doherty, ended up winning his match to qualify. So he's obviously a very tough opponent, but he's playing the GOAT, so you've got to fancy Ronnie. Make no mistake, Ding, he's won the 6th Fed World Championship in Thailand, playing Hussein, who's we all know is such a quality player. For me, that's the draw of the round for me, which cannot pick a winner. I think that's going to go to the wire. No idea who's going to win that one. I really like to see Ricky Warden. He's had back problems. He's come through it, starting to perform. 110.9 in his match. Be delighted with that. Good scorer. Luca Brecel, no form all year. Fancy Ricky Warden. Jimmy Robertson, he's a good scorer, but, a couple of times he's played at the Crucible, he hasn't played to his best. I hope he shows up this time, but you've got to fancy Mark Williams. Yeah, I've obviously had an interest in the qualifiers because, I was trying to get my position in the top 4 outside the 64. So I've been watching all the matches, and Anthony McGill has come from behind in all his games and managed to get through. So he'll be match sharp, playing Judd Trump, as we know, has been struggling. So, I think McGill is probably the one to back with value. Very good, but, he will fancy the job there. And, if he wins that match, he will play the winner of Trump McGill. So you've got to fancy Jack might go deep this time. And Joe has also found some form, won a ranking tournament last year. So he will fancy beating Milkins. So a good match. But as we know, Milkins has come into the best form of his life. So a close game. Don't really want to pick a winner there. Tough game for Shaun Murphy, but he won that tournament less than 2 weeks ago. He's been hitting some good form. We know he's a class act, but that's a really tough game for him. But you've got to fancy Murphy to edge it. For some reason, Mark Allen's gone missing the last 3 or 4 tournaments. I don't know why, because he went on that streak. Okay, some of the way he played wasn't pretty. It was very sort of slow and methodical, but he got the result, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. He's got a very tough match there. Got to fancy Mark Allen to edge that as well. Both of them have been struggling. I know that Bingham's been playing with the GOAT, O'Sullivan, practicing. So he's obviously sharp, because you don't play O'Sullivan unless you're playing well, because, you're just refereeing. So tough game. Once again, I really don't know who to pick the winner there. Every year I have an argument with Neil Foulds. I say, look at Robertson's form. He's got to go deep again. And Neil says, his form in the World Championship, by the side he won it and won over semi-final, has been diabolical, and it is true. I think he likes to walk into the shot. So who knows? He might have gone to ground, really practiced hard, got ready for this match. But this was he's playing. I've watched him play for the last 2 years. He's just starting to come through. He's a fantastic player. He's going to win tournaments. So a real tough game for Neil Robertson. But you've got to fancy Neil because he's such a good scorer. Jack Jones is improving season after season, getting through, won some tough matches in the qualifiers, playing Ali Carter, who's found some good form, won the German Open. So another one, very hard to pick a winner. Ryan Day's a real good scorer, had a 147 in his match. Okay, he was well behind with Mark Selby in the last tournament, got it together, ended up getting beat, but Wilson has been scoring really heavily in his matches. Now, he's won 1 tournament this year. He will really fancy. He's all about timing, Karen Wilson. Thinks he's the best player in the world, which you have to be if you're going to be world champion. So he'd be a big danger. So that's a tough game, but I fancy Wilson. But John Higgins is he's one of the greatest players we've ever had, and he's consistent, plays all the right shots. He's not had a drink for 5 years. He's got himself together, spinning class, lost all that weight. Just hasn't had any results. Had a few disappointments last couple of seasons in a few finals. One, especially with Neil Robertson, who 9-4 up, lost 10-9. So, but listen, you got to fancy him to beat David Grace. Even David Grace has performed well in the qualifiers. So Higgins could go deep as well. Oh, listen, when that draw came out, me and Kevin cracked up laughing because they are practice partners, and they both do struggle with their temperament. So how that's going to go down, I don't know, but I'm really looking forward to watching that one. So it's tailor-made for Mark Selby. He's too good, I think, for Matt Selby, because Matt Selby's a bit of a tactical player, and Mark Selby's a genius at that. So Mark Selby's had a few problems off the table. He's got them all sorted. He's in a good place. He's won a tournament. Semi-final last tournament, played really well. You know, on paper, for me, I think the two finalists will be Mark Selby and the GOAT, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Hi, I'm Ronnie O'Sullivan and welcome to Eurosport Snooker on YouTube. Click here to subscribe to Eurosport Snooker.